everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, please excuse my freshly washed hair. I realized that I needed to start this video. Welcome to another reading out of my comfort zone video. This is the second of this series that I have done. The first one was my sci-fi video, so I believe that was in 2 parts as well. So if you haven't watched that, I will link that down below for you. This time, though, we are doing spooky season, reading thrillers, horrors, and mysteries. I am putting it under that giant umbrella because I want to read a wide variety of these books, just so I can see if I like anything, if I can find something that I do like. I have variety in age range, I have variety in type of book. We're gonna see what happens. This weekend, I'm also going up to the lake, so that is why I'm starting this now. I am going to be bringing with me a bunch of these books. I have the audiobooks for Stephen Graham Jones's books, his 2, My Heart is a Chainsaw and The Only Good Indian. I am very excited to read both of those. One of them is my friend's book club pick, so I will be reading that one first, My Heart is a Chainsaw. And I'm also going to be bringing the audiobook for The Maidens. And I feel like there was 2 more that I cannot remember what I have the audiobooks for. They're all on script. They're all there waiting for me. I also have PDFs on my computer waiting for me for Finlay Donovan is Killing It, Who is Maud Dixon, and a Riley Sager book that I'm also hoping to read. And then I have Ace 4 as well. Physically, I borrowed this one from my friend, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which I am going to be bringing with me this weekend. And then I have 2 YA picks. I have One of Us is Lying and Ace of Spades. Both of them are like more mystery based. I think this one is also like dark academia. I'm excited for both of them. And then I have Shirley Jackson's We Have Always Lived in the Castle as like a little add-on, because it is a classic and it is supposed to be a little bit spooky, good for this season. So I don't know if this counts as horror, thriller, mystery, we don't know. But that is the plan, my guys. I will let you know if there are any other books that I end up starting or adding to this list. But this is going to be me trying to see if the thriller or horror genre is for me with a few of those books, and then also seeing like how YA stuff vibes. Other than that, rules are I can DNF because DNFing books is better than reading bad books, and I hope I have fun. I had a lot of fun with my sci-fi one, so now we're gonna try thrillers, mysteries, and horrors. Happy Saturday. I'm here at the lake and I wanted to do a quick update on what I've been reading. Yesterday I started first Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyimide, I think that's how you say it. And I am just over 100 pages into this, which is fun. So far, I'm enjoying it. Not too creepy. More Gossip Girl. And then I also started the Southern Book Club's Guide to Vampire Slaying, or to Slaying Vampires, by Grady Hendrix, and I am currently 191 pages in. And I'm enjoying this one as well. I don't know what I expected going into this, but really all it is like a bunch of women in a southern town in the 80s, 90s who are there, and it's focused on one lady, and there's some real weird stuff happening to her and her family. I'm going to be continuing both of these. I also started listening to My Heart is a Chainsaw, but I think I want a physical copy of that one to be able to read along with, just so I'm actually paying attention to it. So I think I'm going to focus on these 2 for now. So far, none are really thrillery. This lovely reading out of my comfort zone is going well. I'm glad that I brought both a YA and a adult to kind of balance each other out. Just added up to you. I'm gonna get back to today. Hello, my lovely friend. Happy Sunday afternoon. Hi, hello. I thought I would pop in with a little reading update because, you know, I finished 2 books before I came home. I ended up finishing Ace of Spades Saturday night. I was listening to the audiobook, but I was trying to read along at the same time, and it was actually too slow for me. So I just stopped listening to the audiobook and powered through this that night and finished it. And it was okay. Like, it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't grip me, didn't really make me care all that much about the individual characters in each situation. And I think that kind of just chalks up to the fact that I don't like reading about rich kids, and I don't like reading about high school kids anymore. I really don't. I don't care enough about them, but like the idea is really cool, and I do like what Farida did with the aspect of racism in this. I won't go into any spoilers because I know like these books, if you talk about anything, you're basically spoiling a lot because thriller, mystery, stuff like that, they thrive on your reader being surprised. So like the Gossip Girl-esque Aces situation was cool and interesting. It did keep me engaged, but I don't really know what I'm gonna end up rating this. I will have to throw it through Compile and see. But yeah, it was enjoyable and I didn't hate it. So I guess that's my thought process coming out of it. And we love the fact that both of our main characters were part of the LGBTQ plus community, which is awesome. So I finished this one, and I also managed to finish up the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires today. It really should be vampire slaying, not the other way around. Drives me crazy, but this was also okay. It was not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be more of like a slasher, kind of like a danger in the neighborhood that nobody knows what's going on, and it's like a community-wide danger that's well known, but it's not. It's like one guy who ingratiates himself into the community and is like best friends with everybody, and it's one housewife in the 90s who is like, who sees stuff and tries to tell people, and then everyone's like, nah, you're crazy, no. And then her husband does some terrible stuff to her, and like, I understand why my friends, when they tried to read this, because two of them tried to read it and couldn't get through it, I understand why, because there was just so much misogyny from these characters, and like, they're housewives, so like their husbands don't really respect them in any way, and there's casual domestic abuse that's never addressed in more than one household, so in that respect it wasn't really that enjoyable. I didn't love a lot of the character dynamics. I did enjoy it. It was okay. So 2 okay books to start off with for this video. I will put both of them through Compile and let you know my feelings for them as we get through this, but as of right now, I have been listening to My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, and I ended up actually buying the ebook because I need to follow along with it, because for some reason our narrator is just so rambly and so just cycles in and around her argument and like tells stories out of the blue, and it's a lot to wrap my head around, so I need to follow it with my eyes as well. But so far it's okay. I'm not very far into it. I'm like 10% in, so we'll find out how this one goes. This one is supposed to be a classic slasher, so I'm ready to have my heart a-pounding. That's basically what I'm waiting for, is to have my heart pounding, myself on the edge of my seat kind of a situation. That's what I'm hoping for. I will let you guys know how I'm feeling about My Heart is a Chainsaw when I'm like halfway through. My lovely friends, it has been a minute since I last chatted with you. I think it's been 3 or 4 days. It is now Friday again. I have had a week, but this weekend we're going up to the lake again, and it's Thanksgiving, so we have Monday off, another long weekend coming up, and I'm gonna be reading so many books. I'm so excited. I haven't really had any time to truly dive into any of the thrillers and horrors and mysteries and stuff that I have on my list, but I am planning on, you know, continuing my exploration this weekend, because I feel like the lake is the perfect place to read thriller mystery stuff. So this weekend, what am I bringing with, you ask? My Heart is a Chainsaw on audio, and I need to finish it because it's also a book club pick from my friends. Apparently I can't walk downstairs normally. And I am also going to bring with a few physical books that I have that are part of my TBR. I am bringing with The Year of the Witching and a sci-fi, because these are both books that I like literally just bought and I'm really excited about it. But The Year of the Witching is that book that I want to squeeze into this TBR because I feel like it's just going to be so good. And then I'm also bringing with One of Us is Lying, and that is the next YA pick basically for this video. And on my computer I have Who is Maud Dixon, which I ended up reading like the first page of just to see how it was. I'm very excited to read that one. It seems really good right off the bat. And I also have Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which I'm so pumped for, and O'Reilly Sager PDF as well. Audiobook, I also have The Maidens and Stephen Graham Jones's other book. So I am so packed with books going into this weekend, and it is my plan to just read so many of them. Hey friends, happy Saturday. I am here at the cottage, and I wanted to pop in because yesterday I finished My Heart is a Chainsaw, and it has been my favorite read of this video so far. I don't know if I liked it though. Like, I think it was well done, and I think that it was, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think I enjoyed it much more than previous to, for sure. But I didn't like our narrator, but I think it was a really interesting choice to have her as the narrator because it didn't feel eerie in the way that like a horror or a slasher is supposed to feel eerie. Like this was a slasher book, but she has such a spinning out of control type of narrative style and thought process, which really gives a strong view into her character. So it was really well done. And I think it did add an element of unease to this horror book where there was no unease to me. Like I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel like I was on the edge of my seat or whatever because our main character knew slashers like the back of her hand. She was a slasher expert. And so she like was just waiting for this slasher to happen and she basically like willed it into existence kind of a thing. The ending got a little bit strange to me, but it was good. Like I did enjoy it and I liked it a lot more than the other books. So I'm gonna have to wait and stew on it and then throw it through Cop-Out to see what I end up rating it. But yeah, what an interesting book for sure. I think our narrator really was an interesting choice and it's making me intrigued enough to read another one of Stephen Graham Jones's books because I want to see what his narrative style is like with a different character than Jade, than our main character Jade. I will warn you, if you want to read this book, there is self-harm and suicidal tendencies and sexual abuse mentioned throughout most of the text, and then it is confirmed in the end, so I will tell you that. And also gory as hell, so if you're not good with gore, don't read this one. I think next up I want to read Finlay Donovan is Killing It or Who is Maud Dixon, so one of those two, and I will hopefully be able to update you before I get home. I will catch up with you guys a little later. Friends. Hi, hello. It is Monday. It is the last day at the cabin and I'm here just eating breakfast real late because I got up real late. But I wanted to pop in, kind of do a little bit of an update because I don't remember exactly what I last talked about. I think it was before, oh, it was right after I finished My Heart is a Chainsaw. That's right. So I then started up Finlay Donovan is Killing It and I'm about 120 pages into that one and I'm really liking it. I think that one's gonna go over really well because it's the kind of vibe that like a romance novel gives off, but like she murders people. It's really good. I don't know if I told you the synopsis to it, but Finlay is a crime novelist, a suspense romance novelist is what she says, and she meets up at the beginning of this book with her agent in a Panera Bread, and her agent is like, yo, where's your book at? And they're talking about it and their entire conversation is about murder and like how she needs to make this next one, she needs to make the cash, and this lady overhears her and thinks she's a murderer for hire, and so she basically hands her a piece of paper with her husband's name on it and a cash amount, which is 50 grand. Then Finlay calls her and's like, what is this? And the girl's just like, do it. Just do it. He's the worst person ever. And Finlay's like, oh, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna murder somebody. But it sticks in her head because she is having like incredible monetary issues and she's about to lose her kids to her ex-husband because like she can't pay the bills and stuff like that. So it sticks in her head. And then in a total accidental group of different things, she does end up killing the guy. And has to make a partnership with her nanny who catches her with the dead body. So that's where I'm at in the book and I am liking it. I'm definitely liking it, so I will be continuing to read that one. I also started The Year of the Witching, which instantly grabbed my attention and I am liking it a fair amount. It is very religious based, which like I knew because the like puritanical society and like there's like witch burnings and stuff. It's a lot. There's a lot of like undertones of like, ooh, this pastor guy beats his wives. It's a lot of that, but I'm intrigued to see where the horror really goes because we've gotten a taste of it and it's pretty decent. So, but yeah, I'm still waiting for a book to give me that like heart palpitation-y unease vibes. So we're just gonna keep searching. I also have the audiobook for Mexican Gothic that I'm gonna be listening to on the way home today. I just like having a lot of books on the go and all sorts of different vibes on the go because Finlay Donovan is Killing It is like an adult, cracky, witty lit fiction. I'll catch up with you guys a little later. Hello friends! We're now back in the city and I wanted to pop in because Mom's currently in Sobeys. I am about 70% done Mexican Gothic and I really liked the first half. I think it was decently spooky eerie and now I've hit some incest and I immediately was like, no, nope. And it's like, it's not the main character, it's the root of the horror and what's going on in this house, and it's got like a little dash of fantasticalness to it as well. And I don't know what it is about each of these horror books, but like the first halves are always better for me and then the second half just like doesn't do it. But I'm gonna finish that tonight because I only have, at the speed that I'm listening to it at, I have like maybe an hour and a half left of the audiobook. So that is gonna be my evening. I'm gonna finish that. But this book is basically about our main character, who I don't remember her name. Naomi. Her name is Naomi something. She gets a letter from her cousin, and her cousin's like basically just like, come help me please. Her father ships her off to go stay with her cousin and stay with her cousin's new family, her cousin's husband and everything. And it's like immediately unsettling because it's like nobody's allowed to talk in the house because sounds carry in this house, and then her cousin is like experiencing like hallucinations and can hear ghosts in the walls. And Naomi immediately is like, there's something wrong here, dear God. The longer she stays there, the more that she starts experiencing these things, and it's a blending of like, I don't know what's real, I don't know what's not real. The dreams that she has are actually her also like sleepwalking, and I don't know if that's really her sleepwalking and having these dreams, or if she's awake and having these moments actually happen to her, and that's like part of this weird thing. So it is quite eerie, and I am liking the book enough. But this now, like the part where I'm in, I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like it here anymore. I don't like it here. We're like 70% away through the book, and I can't see how this is gonna end. I don't like it here anymore. So yeah, hopefully that goes well. But once I'm done this, I'm gonna continue reading Finlay Donovan. I think that's where I'm at. I will let you guys know how I feel about Mexican Gothic when I finish, and hopefully I will have more thoughts towards Finlay Donovan as well. I'm still liking it. I read another like 30 pages today. I'll catch up with you guys a little later. Hello friends! It has been a while since I last talked to you guys. It is officially Friday again, and I realized I never actually updated you guys on the end results, my end feelings for Mexican Gothic. Mexican Gothic, let me look at my book here. Mexican Gothic ended up being a 3.5 star. So far in this video, we've had a 3-star with Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. We've had another 3-star with Ace of Spades. We've had a 3.5 star with My Heart is a Chainsaw, and another 3.5 star with Mexican Gothic. I haven't had the chance to read this week at all since I finished Mexican Gothic on Monday. Mexican Gothic was fine. I will say I stand by my points that I said before. Like, the incest was a lot. It could have done without the attempted rape, for sure. But it is setting up for like the uncomfort horror vibes, right? The scary, this family has no boundaries kind of a situation. So it did get the scariness through, although still no heart-pounding unease. And I'm looking for a book that does that for me. So we will see if my remaining ones do that for me. So I'm still making my way through Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which is not a thriller, it's more of a mystery. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes for sure, because it is leaning into the genre that, or the kind of branch of this genre that I love. I love mysteries as like Agatha Christie wise, and I used to eat up like detective mystery books when I was younger. So I love mysteries, and I'm enjoying this one because it's like you're seeing the other side of it kind of a thing. And I love it too because Finlay Donovan is an author and she's writing and having like writing struggles, and I love books like that. So we'll see how that one goes. So far I'm enjoying it more than all of the books that I've read so far for this video. We've read 4 books for this video so far, and it's been a very middle of the road rating. They're all 3.5 stars. So let's see if we can find one that's better. Hello my lovely friends. It is now, I think, it's Monday, so it's a few days after I last talked to you. And this weekend I didn't read anything at all. It was a no bones weekend. It was a no bones reading. It was a no reading weekend. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I tried to listen to The Maidens. I started it and I was gonna go and do my errands all on, I think, Sunday morning. I had it in my ears and I got 10 minutes in and I was really enjoying the audiobook. I was like, this narrator knows what's up. It's very delicious. I like it. She's a therapist, and we got to the fact that one of her clients low-key stalks her and performs self-harm and has no boundaries. And I was like, you know what? I hate that. And I got like this visceral reaction. I was like, oh, I can't read this book anymore. So I'm DNFing the Maidens. And I can't read it. I can't do it. I can't, because I know that that man is part of the narrative for a lot of it, and I don't think I could handle the fact that that might be an element of spookiness in this book. So we're throwing The Maidens across the room, metaphorically, because I don't actually own a copy. But this morning, Yes, I'm sitting here at my desk. I just went and looked on Scribd and I found the audiobook for Finlay Donovan is killing it. So I think I'm gonna try and listen to that this week and finish that one up because I have been just in a non-reading mood recently and there's so much happening in my life right now. So I think that's why, just a non-reading mood, which is okay because I started October off really, really strong. I've already read like 6 books in October, so trying to finish that one. And I would like to finish up the Year of the Witching as well. And hopefully I can get to Who is Maud Dixon and the Riley Sager that I have on the docket in my computer. That's where I'm at. But yeah, DNFed the Maidens. And then we're gonna just head right into the next one. So I'll catch up with you guys when I have more reading updates. Hello, my lovely friends. It is now Wednesday, halfway through the week. I finished Finlay Donovan is Killing It last night. And oh boy, did I enjoy it. I ran it through Cophow this morning. It's a 4-star book. It is so good. That is the exact kind of crime book that I want. It is so funny, so witty, just like an enjoyable amount of time and like the exact right amount of unbelievable that make it just, whoa, the lighting, that make it just like really, really enjoyable. And I think that I'm gonna go find somewhere with better lighting. I think that I will be like automatically buying an El Cosimano, I think that's how you say her name, whatever she writes next. Like, this book was so fun. I really enjoyed the accidental stumbling upon these murders and like accidentally just like by the choosing to entertain the idea gets her so roped into whatever's going on. And I love her nanny and her kids. Really enjoyed that book. And I will be reading the next one when it comes out. This is just like reconfirming the fact that I love like mysteries and silly crime things like this much more than thrillers, but that's par for the course. Last night, I actually tried to listen to a little bit of The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, and I couldn't listen to the audiobook. The audiobook narrator is not my favorite, and it was just automatically just like wasn't vibing. So I think I'm gonna leave that one for now because I have so many other books that I want to get to for this video. I still have A Year of the Witching on the go, which is my fantasy horror that I'm very excited about and still enjoying, I guess. I'm about almost halfway through now. And I have Who is Maud Dixon and a Riley Sager that I would really like to read. I will let you guys know when I have more reading thoughts, and if I finish A Year of the Witching next, I will let you guys know, but I'll catch up with you guys a little later. Hello friends! It is now Saturday. It is the 23rd of October, and I just finished The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This was not scary. This was not horror, and I'm sad about it because I wanted to be creeped out. The like taste of horror that we got at the beginning with the looks of the witches, like the 4 witches in here that we see, I wish that had really been brought out and like made to be definitively like horror, you know? But it was good. Either way, I think I liked it. I liked it because, you know, it had like the fantasy taste to it, and y'all know I love fantasy, so I liked this. It is too religious for me though. Like the purity thing was a lot, so I could have done without that, but I understand that that's like the basis of this whole book is to have the war of the prophet essentially against the witches kind of a thing. So that was good and it was fun. It was witchy and it was definitely good for this time of year, so I do recommend it for that. And there's a lot of bloodshed in this, which is great. But yeah, not scary at all. So another failure for this video, although I did like it. I feel like I should end this video on a thriller book written by one of the most prolific thriller writers of our time right now, and Riley Sager is one of them. I picked Lock Every Door because it was Kayla from Books and Lala's highest rated Riley Sager that she's got on her Goodreads list. So I'm putting faith in Kayla and I'm gonna read Lock Every Door, and hopefully it's gonna give me that heart pounding feeling that I need. That's what I'm looking for, as you guys know. But I think as so far, I have enjoyed these books that I've been reading a fair bit, I guess, but not like an overwhelming amount. It's been pretty middle of the road, as you guys know. But now that I've finished this one, I'm gonna pop it through Copile a little later. It's probably gonna be a 3.5 or a 3-star. Nothing much more exciting than that. Let's hope that this Lock Every Door by Riley Sager blows it out of the park, because I think we're gonna just say it, that's the last book that I'm gonna read in this video. And any other book that I like mentioned in this video, I will hopefully be reading soon. because I do actually want to read most of these books, like One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus and Who is Maud Dixon? Really want to read that one as well. Alas, I didn't read them all fast enough. But that's okay. Up next and up last, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Hello friends, it is now a little later and I've been reading Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I'm 100 pages in and I don't know where this time has gone. I'm in. I'm liking this so far. I'm really liking it so far. We've already got an uneasy vibe in this one. So this is the Riley Sager where it's about a girl who becomes an apartment sitter for an apartment in the Bartholomew in New York City, and like there's a whole bunch of weird rules there. She's living there for like 3 months. She's getting paid like 12 grand to do it, and she's not allowed to have any visitors. Nobody at all. She's not allowed to really talk to anybody unless she's talked to. It's just gently creepy because the Bartholomew's like cursed and stuff. And there's already been like a moment where she's been cleaning the place and noticed that the wallpaper and the like crown molding and stuff have like eyes in them in the design, and she can't stop seeing faces in the designs, which is the worst thing to see in wallpaper design ever. And then she was in the bedroom when she heard like a squeaking sound, and she's like, what the hell? And then the dumbwaiter that's in her apartment to the one below her is moving, and there's another girl who's apartment sitting in the apartment right below her, and they're like becoming friends. But yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it, and I'm gonna keep reading. I just thought I'd let you know. I'm into it, and there's a lot. I'm thinking that our main character, Jules, she's gonna have something to do with her sister pop up, because her sister keeps popping up. The fact that she went missing 8 years ago, and then her parents died 2 years after that. So I'm just like, I'm waiting for that to become a thing, because obviously you don't mention it unless it's gonna become a thing. Everything that's mentioned in a book is important for the book. That is what I've learned. You know, there's gonna be a reason why it's mentioned, unless it's only mentioned once, and then it's not usually that important. But this has been brought up multiple times a chapter, so it's going to be important for something, and not just for character development. I'm hoping, otherwise that would be terrible. Anyways, I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna get back to it. Okay friends, I'm whispering because it's late and my door's open, and I don't want my parents to hear me talking. But I think I've done it. I think I've found a book that's creepy enough for me not to want to read it at night, because I've been sitting here contemplating going back in, even though I had been reading it all evening and night, and I'm just like, what if it gets creepier? Because it's already creepy. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I don't want to be up all night. Is the last book of this video gonna be the one that does it to me? All right, Riley Sager, I see you. Do I keep reading? I'm gonna keep reading. Did we just end off this video on a complete banger? Or am I just running off of adrenaline? I'll let you know tomorrow. Hello, my lovely friends, and welcome to the end of this video. We made it, and I got my books ready to talk about, ready to do a wrap-up of sorts. This video, as you guys well know, has been Reading Out of My Comfort Zone Part 2, or Take 2, I guess. Reading Out of My Comfort Zone Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, where I read thrillers, horrors, and mysteries in the attempt to read out of my comfort zone, and to see if I can actually find a thriller book or a mystery book or something that I actually really like, to see if I can narrow my reading path with this genre. This, I don't know, month? I guess it ended up being almost the whole month of October. I read 8 books and DNF'd 1, which is, you know, par for the course. But I guess first and foremost, we should probably talk about Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, shouldn't we? Because I finished that one, and guys, we ended this video on an absolute banger. I really liked that book. Riley Sager knows how to write a damn book, and I enjoyed all of it. The ending, less than the rest of the book, but it was still very good. You know, when you get to the end of a thriller or a horror or whatever, you start learning the truths of why everything is so scary. That part of a thriller book I always dislike a little bit, because A, you're done all of the spooky dooky stuff, and now you're just in the action-packed, oh, we might all die situation. And it just kind of becomes like an, oh, so this is what's actually happening kind of situation. And I don't know why I'm disappointed like every time. This one, Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, I enjoyed. I really think that ending was decently spooky. Like, we figured out what was going on, even though we figured out what was going on, and like our main character tried to make her daring escape, more stuff kept happening. I'm not gonna spoil you guys because these books are very easy to spoil. Very much enjoyed that one. But yeah, let's get into this wrap up portion of this video. I read 3 physical books and the rest of them were either audiobook or ebook form. I ended up borrowing this book from my friend and I read this one first along with Ace of Spades. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix ended up being a 3-star for me. It just left a bad taste in my mouth with some of the character dynamics and it just wasn't really like scary or heart pounding. I don't know, but it was interesting enough to keep going with it, so there is that. 3-star with that one. Then I read Ace of Spades by Frida Abike-Iyimide and this one was also a 3-star for me. It just didn't really do it for me and I think that's because I don't love reading books about kids anymore, or like, not kids, I don't like reading books about high schoolers anymore. Especially reading about rich kids. Rich kids are the worst. Then next I read My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, which was my friend's book club pick for this month, which really worked out well, seeing as I was doing this video as well. And this one I gave 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed the way that it examined the slasher genre, and our book club conversation was very in-depth and very interesting. I will say I didn't love the choice of narrator because the narrator kind of took away any suspense or any surprise in this book, and it made it difficult to follow for me anyways. Two of my friends found it really fine to follow, and then myself and my other friend found it really difficult to follow, and I needed a physical book to follow along, and even then I was like, I don't know what's happening. The next one that I read for this also was Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I liked this one too. It was a 3.5 star. So far, like, this video was very middle of the road ratings, which is fine, seeing as I was reading out of my comfort zone, and I know that these kind of books that I read aren't really my cup of tea, and it's, as I kept saying, I wanted to find a book that really did that for me. A lot of these didn't. This one was eerie and unsettling, but it dealt with some things that I was just more disgusted by than like horrified by, and I just wasn't comfortable reading them, especially like the incest stuff near the end and the fact that the family had no boundaries, and it was just a lot. But yes, then I DNF'd The Maidens by Alex Michaelides because of one character that I knew who was going to be reoccurring. I didn't want to read it. I didn't want to read about a stalker who self-harmed, who had no boundaries. I just was not, no, So I moved on. And I moved on to Finlay Donovan is Killing It, and we finally got a 4-star. This one was so much fun. I really enjoyed that one. And yes, that one fell more into the like literary romance mystery vibe, which is why I liked it a lot more than thrillers usually, because it like went over so much better and it was funny and wit cracky, and I did have like a heart palpitation, like what's gonna happen kind of situation near the end. It just wasn't scary, it was just more of like adrenaline rush, which is still fine and still something that I was looking for. So that was fantastic. The last 2 books in this video, I ended up finishing The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This one I gave 3.5 stars to because it was fine, it was okay. Maybe it's more of a 3-star, I'm not really sure. I wish the horror elements had been more brought in, because we got a taste of it at the beginning and it was like very descriptive horror unusualness, and I think that really would have done well bringing that back into it somehow. And then last but not least, I read Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, which I ended up giving 4 stars to. So we had 2 4-stars in this video, the rest of them were 3.5 and 3-star. So fairly successful, even though I did have 1 DNF, fairly successful. I did enjoy myself. It just wasn't like overly exciting. I'm really glad that I read the Riley Sager though, because I really enjoyed it, and I think I'll be reading more Riley Sager again because that seemed really like they know what they're doing. And there are a few other books that were on my radar for this video that I will hopefully be reading soon, like Who is Maud Dixon, and I came across one near the end that I didn't mention in this video, but it's called In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which Kayla from Books and Lala mentioned. Really, I should just be following her recommendations because her recommendations were great, or the one that I took from her, which was Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, was great. So I think maybe in the future, if I revisit this video, I'm gonna be following her recommendations for it. We have made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you hung out this long, make sure to leave me a ghost emoji down below because it's for spooky season. Have a happy and safe Halloween, my friends, and I will catch you in another video soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.